All right, you guys ready to dive in on learning how to code up your own AI text to video software? All right, are you guys ready for this?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we have a full house and I have a new little puppy.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I have this battle scar.
So cute.
The battle scar from the puppy.
Battle scar from the puppy. All right, so
That's it. That little kiss with that big nose.
yeah, so all right, so we're gonna dive in today. I have a little slideshow presented. All right, if you guys don't know how I'm creating these slideshows are so fun. Okay, I just tell the AI on my phone, create me a slideshow, and I talk to it, and then it spits out this whole freaking thing. All right, so here's our class. All right, it's AI generated slideshow today. All right, so today in this class, we're going to teach you how to make your own AI video making software. All right, and what do I mean? All right, here is the end result. I'm going to pass over Troy. I'm going to pass you over co-host in case anybody pops in. Boom. All right, what up, Paul? I'm so glad you joined. Boom. All right, here we go. All right, we're diving in. All right, create your own AI video making software. All right, welcome to Jeff Caldwell's AI coaching class. If you haven't met me, nice to meet you. Here we teach AI coaching, and all of this that I have going to be teaching you can be built by the end of it. You can take this class and you can build the end result, which is creating your own video making software with AI, okay? The reason I'm teaching this now and not teaching this 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago is because AI video was crap. Okay, it was absolutely terrible. It was like the cool factor of it was look how bad it is. Look at Will Smith eating spaghetti as he eats his own hands. It was horrible. Okay, if you don't know what I mean, you could go to YouTube, all right, and you could type in Will Smith eats spaghetti AI, and you could kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, like some of these things are absolutely like monstrous. Okay, so this is like the video quality of AI back in the day. Okay, so this is what we were dealing with. You know what I mean? Like this is it. So it is absolutely like just nightmare fuel. Okay, so this is one of those things where you couldn't use that for your business. Okay, so me trying to show you like, oh, look what you could do with spaghetti, and it's like, I would lose you. It's not worth it. So here's what I'm saying is I believe as of today, right now, as of May 1st, 2025, AI video has peaked in the last 48 hours that we could actually use it for our business, right? I believe that. I believe that we are the first ones, and I could show you by a number, okay? Literally, I'm going to show you guys a number and how many people have used this AI model in the entire world, and you're going to understand what I'm talking about. It shows you the number of how many people, okay? So that's how you guys are on this call. Like, this is like, we're less than maybe 1,000 people in the entire world using this new model, okay? So I'm glad you guys showed up. Like, you guys freaking rock. All right. We see a lot of new faces on this coaching call. I'm so proud of you guys showing up. All right. By the end of this training, you'll be able to generate engaging AI video for your social media that can drive traffic for your brand or your business or a faceless YouTube channel. Which I mean by faceless is I feel really beautiful on camera. And that's totally a lie. I feel like my eyes are wrong. My eyes are too small. Like I worry about like so many things before I jump on camera. Okay. Like you don't even know. Okay, so for me, I like the idea of a faceless video channel. And one, I have a son. He's 9 years old. He loves watching like these YouTube channels. Like he loves dinosaurs. And so, you know what? I'm going to make him a freaking YouTube channel. And I'm going to practice this. I'm going to get a little bit better. He's 9, so he's not going to criticize me. He's just going to watch it and say, I want more dinosaurs, right?
My dad's the coolest.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and then I'm going to ask him what he wants next. And he's going to tell me and I'm going to go make it. You know what I mean? And it's just, it could be a business or it could be a hobby, but if one of these goes viral, I'm going to freaking high five him. We're going to go buy some ice cream and it's going to pay for his freaking college. You know what I mean? It's going to pay for his house, right? If you guys don't know, my son, he's 9, he has autism. And I I believe in the name of the Lord that he's going to grow out of that. And I want to hand him something that's not a traditional job that he could work from anywhere. Because, he tells me now he hates school. He says, I'm not a school kid. Because he sees his mom and dad stay at home. And in the future, when he's older, he's going to say, I'm not a work kid. And he's not going to want to go to a job. You know what I mean? And so how can I provide him a solution that he's going to love doing that he can do by himself? Well, I can make, hey, look, press this button, make a video, put it on YouTube. He knows how to do that. He's been doing his whole life. Okay, so whatever your vision is for you, that you could do this, you could take this class and be like, oh, I love this. And then this could be knowledge for the future. All right, so here we're going to dive in. Let me show you what I'm talking about in this. All right, so this is my Jeff Caldwell page. And in the last few days, I made a little character for my son. Okay, and check out this. Okay. Let me share it so you guys could actually hear the audio too. So stop presenting, share tab. All right. Also share audio. All right. Hopefully you guys saw this. So this is my first little attempt. This is what I mean. This is my first attempt. Okay. Understand my goal is to get better from here. All right. This is my first attempt and here we go.
Gentle waves are
Can you guys hear it?
tiny T-Rex floats carefree and content until a mysterious light beckons from a distant shore. As storm clouds gather, our little hero faces the unknown, clinging to courage as tightly as to the lifeboat. Through crashing waves and howling winds, the baby dinosaur perseveres, losing its precious sunglasses but never its spirit. Upon reaching the island, the magical crystal rewards our hero's bravery with an even greater gift. Gentle waves are tiny
It's cute. I like it. That's a stud. Yeah, that's like if your new puppy was a dinosaur.
You're absolutely right. All right. And so this is my first attempt. I started to do other things with like creating characters, and I started to realize, wow, we should actually start to design and create characters around this. All right. So here's what I mean. So if we go to YouTube, there's this YouTube channel that I found. And I'm sure that YouTube will actually have a couple of these videos that pop up. Okay. Just as I scroll. All right. So on YouTube, there's these little channels. If you guys ever saw them. All right. And let's see. So I'll pull up this. Let's see if I can find this channel. All right. There's these little channels where people create these shorts. All right. And now I could share my whole screen. Bam. All right. People create these shorts and these shorts go absolutely insanely viral. So my idea is to reverse engineer it, but not only to reverse engineer the channel, to reverse engineer an entire software that creates this channel. Okay. Does that make sense why you guys are on this call?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So you guys aren't, the end goal isn't just to create the channel. The end goal is to say, wow, you see this right here? This channel, this thing right here is a channel. It has 74 videos. Okay. So it has 74 videos. And this channel, look at this this very first video. That's a little like inside. So bam, we don't want that. Bam. All right. All right, so look at this first video. Is this thing has absolutely massive amount of views. This very first one is 418 million views. Let's just say half of those are botted because maybe they pumped it up. Then you have the second one, 230, 70 million. 59 million. And it's all this little pug character that they branded. And then they start to tell stories through it. Okay. And these things it's absolutely insane. It's so wild what these things do. Okay. So one, I see that these are a huge opportunity to create these. And even what this channel is using is not the newest model that we're using. Okay. So they're creating a character around this. Okay. In the future, I would highly recommend creating a character that's going to be something that you could brand, right? My little son, he watches, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the show. It's called Jeffy. All right, Jeffy, it's like South Park, but it's like 10,000 times more vulgar, okay? It says some absolutely horrible stuff. I tried to get him to stop watching it, and then he started sneaking it in the middle of the night and watching it. And you know what I mean? And it's like there's a communication barrier for me to try to tell him, no, you shouldn't watch this, and him understanding you shouldn't watch this. And he loves the show, but it's these little dolls, and there's millions and millions of views on these Jeffy little doll shows, right? Like it's 230 million. Like they have 8.46 million views. If you have kids, don't watch this around your kids, but this is like these little dolls and they just play with each other. And these things are absolutely viral. Well, this channel probably makes some serious freaking money. What's up, Victor? CR, BRB, no problem. All right, so now we want to design our character, okay? So this guy, they created this whole little thing. My son, I eventually stopped trying to get him to watch it, and I said, you know what, whatever, just watch it. I'm just going to embrace it, and just so I don't have to argue and you don't have to lie to me that you're sneaking it. And then I just bought him the whole entire doll set, right? I just bought him all the dolls, bought him these little toys, and now he actually has those little dolls, those little puppets, right? We bought all of them. All of them. They're like $80 each, and they're custom little puppets, and we play with them. They're freaking so cute. He has this little Jeffy one. That's Jeffy. This little, like, right? We have that doll, right? So it's a full-on brand. Full-on brand. So when I talk about this, we're going to be creating, as we go through this in the end, I'm going to show you guys how to create your own characters and how to make it. We're going to go through this, okay? So let me ask you, do you guys want to choose your own story? Because you guys are here live on this call, do you guys want to go through the webinar, this little class first, and then do the thing? Or do you guys want to do the thing as we're going through it? And then just know, like, because there's slides, right? There's only, what, 5 slides? There's like 10 slides, right? So do you guys want to go through the whole thing or do the whole thing while we're going through the slides? Which one do you guys want to do?
Well, I think you should do like a quick summary of the whole thing and then do it. So more do, but you know, let us know what to look forward to.
All right, perfect. All right, so look at this. All right, so as we're doing this, some of this stuff has a loading time. All right, because it actually has to create the stuff. All right, so here's what we'll do is, for the sake of condensing everything and building it, by the end of this, we'll have it all together, okay? So check out this. What we're gonna do is, in this, we're gonna be creating this. So if we wanna create a character, we're gonna be using APIs. I'm not the guy that creates the image. I'm not the guy that makes the AI. I get it from an AI dealer. All right, like, hey, they want this. Like, we gotta give it to them. You know, I'm just the middleman. All right. So here's where we go. We go to a site called Replicate. All right, and Replicate is a site that has a whole bunch of models that you can use to actually create your own stuff. All right, if you look right here, it says usage. I have an invoice. All right, I just want to let you guys know this new AI image model and video model. Look at this. My normal spend that I spend a month, that I run a whole entire software off of, by the way, is like $60, $21, $47. Do you guys see this one right here, April 25th? This is this last month, $281. This AI video model is not cheap. You're paying like $1.50 per 5 seconds. And you have to sometimes mess up, and you have to suck sometimes at what you're doing, and you have to insert in wrong. So a lot of times this is just me, and it outputs something. I'm like, I'm definitely not using that. That's not good. I'm not, you know, practice. Okay, so sometimes there is a cost to learning, and it's called, there's a difference between learning where you're just like, oh, I got the final result. And then there's something called deep learning where you have to mess up and you fail a whole bunch of times. Okay, failing looks like $281 in 1 month because you don't know what you're doing and you're practicing. However, this month, when I spent $281, this last month, I only produced 2 videos for $281. $240 is what I paid. Okay, that's my cost, and 2 videos got put onto the internet, right? You have to think of cost to output. All right, well, guess what? In the future, I hope to get that way down to like $10, $20 a video. Think about it, a full 30-second clip that potentially could get millions of views for 10, 20 bucks. You know what I mean? Some of these videos, if you guys don't know what YouTube pays out per million, right? YouTube per million views, right? Anywhere between $1,000 to $60,000. All right, let's just say $1,200 on the low end. That's not you putting affiliate links in there, selling plushie dolls, putting your brand on the shirt. We're not even talking about that. Okay. Does anybody have an actual brand here that has like somebody that wants to connect this idea? Because I need, during this class, I'm going to need somebody to volunteer. And I'm going to need somebody to say, hey, I'm going to take this brand and this idea. Shanti, I freaking love it. Way to raise your hand so fast. All right. So we already got a volunteer. All right. So here we go.
I don't need to take it. I don't take it if someone else wants to, but
Okay, so let me fully explain what you're volunteering for, so then you could decide if you want. You could still have first right refusal if you want to do this. Okay. So I want to build a character with you on this call and have that character somehow be connected to your brand.
Yep,
Okay.
like our two options.
Okay, so and what we want is in this future, we're going to have this where this is a whole character. It actually tells people and connects it to your story and everything like that. Okay, so this is going to be the front end character facing that might represent it. And maybe if you eventually they could have a physical plushie doll that you could send them home. And do you want to tell everybody what you do? Because if you guys don't know, Shanti is one of my wife and I's clients, like absolutely beloved clients. And we have been partnering with her to build her website, her courses, all of this stuff. Do you want to kind of fill everybody in what you do, Shanti, so everyone kind of knows a little bit more backstory of you?
I'm still working on my elevator pitch 2 years in, but my fascination and commitment is about empowering individualized choice in people's lives and enhancing opportunities to create choice. I'm a psychiatrist and my practice is super individualized, and I'm branching out now and with different companies. One is more software related, creating tools for people to feel empowered in making their own choice. And the other is more of a learning process, like skill-based, a lot of teaching, and then people engaging in opportunities with me to apply tools that I've created over 20 years in practice to their own life. So I'm right now, I have a Substack, and I've just yesterday did my first podcast, super scary, but my kind of concept for my Substack and podcast is called Choose Your World. And it's all about clarifying what I call choice challenges in your life. And after you clarify the challenges, you create choice opportunities. And that process allows you to choose your world. And a person who is interested in clarifying challenges and creating opportunities, that person is called a choice seeker. For any Harry Potter fans, Harry Potter is a seeker. His broom, like he goes and plays the searches for this up in the sky, this little golden snitch. And Jeff, do you know Harry Potter?
I do, yes. I've watched the series with my family.
So golden snitch. So the character that popped in my mind with this was a choice seeker that would be modeled after Harry Potter on the broom going after the golden snitch. And the golden snitch represents choice opportunities, and that was a way to connect it to my brand. The first one that came in, Jeff, was choice fairy, which I won't get into here, but choice fairy was another option. But I think choice seeker could be really cute. I don't know about copyright. Well, that's a question actually, like copyright with all this. I mean, that's already a character that exists, so it would have to be changed from that. But maybe it could be a combination of the choice fairy with something about seeking. Outside of Harry Potter, like I've looked at the definition of a seeker, and it fits perfectly with what I'm talking about. So it could be some Harry Potter choice fairy amalgam of sorts.
Okay.
Fairy wand instead of your broomstick. I don't know.
All right. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so that is so amazing. That really helped. I pretty much typed everything that you just wrote down. All right. And that's going to be the start of our image. Okay. That's going to be the start of our character. And we're going to use that as our foundation. Okay. So here's what you're right. Earlier, Naeem said something very important to me. I have some channels on my son's channel that are some Pokemon related channels because I was going to try that too. I saw them going viral and I was like, oh, I'll make some Pokemon ones. Naeem said, Jeff, you probably don't want to deal with copyright. What happens if these do go viral and now you're dealing with that issue? So I love that you're willing to turn it into the Chorus Fairy with merging it with the Chorus Seeker and having it a fairy wand, right? So that actually brings it all together where it still captures the vision, because a lot of times I want my stuff to look like Pixar, but you can't say Pixar, okay? You can't just use that, right? So here's what we're gonna do. Now we're on Replicate, okay? So there's two things that we wanna do, all right? On Replicate, if we go into Explore, we have a ton of models, okay? So here's what's really amazing. If you guys look at this, you guys see how it says featured models? And then this very top one is clean. I don't know when you're gonna see this in the future, but this is where it is. With this, you're gonna sign up to Replicate. You're gonna be able to see all these models, okay? All of these models, think of this. All of these models are essentially everyone in the AI space, and all of these different like creators are putting all of the AI image models and video models and sometimes the text models even onto one location, and you could just call this from one area. All right, I'm going to show you what that means in a little bit. All right, so we're going to scroll down, and here's what's really awesome. We're going to scroll down, and in here, there's some latest models. We're going to find one of the models, which is called GPT Image 1. All right, if you need to search that, right, write that down as GPT-Image 1, and then you could search it. All right, and this is going to search up OpenAI. Okay, this is basically the model that we're going to use for this. All right, the reason why we're going to use this model is because this is by far one of the highest quality AI image models out there. All right, so far to date. All right, and we're going to need two things. If you guys been onto the other classes, we're going to need an open API key, and you're going to need to sign up for this little like replicate.com. Okay, so we're going to go to OpenAI, and we're going to grab an API key. All right. With this, like I said, you guys could just follow along and watch this, and then you guys can get the go along through the replay with this. All right. So I'm going to go through, grab an API key. I'm going to have, this is going to be called Replicate. All right. You want to name it, because a lot of times if somebody ever gets a hold of this key, because it can happen, and it does, I've been charged a couple $100 before, you can know which one to cancel. Okay. So basically I'm going to create it, and then it outputs a key. Okay. Keep this key super secret. All right. And I'm going to paste this key right into here. All right, I'm going to paste this key right into here, okay? Then we have this prompt. The prompt is what's going to be actually creating our image for us. All right, so what we want to do is, Shanti just kind of explained this whole little image for us. So I'm going to kind of see what this does. All right, so I'm going to say, obviously I spelled some stuff wrong. That's not the worst. All right, so here's what we could do. I'm going to say, create me a 3D ultra high quality, right? Quality character. All right. And this is kind of our foundation for this. All right. It will be a choice fairy. All right. So now we have this, and we're able to scroll down. What I like to do is right here where it says aspect ratio, we want to determine the aspect ratio. If we're going to be doing reels, this is going to be the aspect ratio of like our weight, our like how high, right? 2:3 is going to be the actual image up and down. Then we're going to say we want a couple images, or 4 or 5, whatever it is. I like to do 4, output type PNG. Why are we setting all of this up? This is crazy. It is. When we set this whole entire thing up, this site actually gives us an API call. All right. This actually gives us an API token and an API call. So in the future, you can build a whole entire software around this. Okay. All right. So this is why we're using this site versus anything else. All right. So now we have it where it's going to be creating our character. All right, so you can see how this is loading, right? This is actually generating the images, and then it's going to create something. Then we're going to get 4 options to pick from, and then Shanti, we could pick what our starting image is going to be from. All right, so now we have this. This says your character can be recognized for face of your brands for years to come. Let's go. All right. setting up your platforms. All right. So this is more behind the scenes in step one, establishing your presence. During this time, you want to start to create brands but profiles. What does this mean as a brand? Well, you actually need to go and create your YouTube channel. All right. Like you actually need to create a YouTube channel for this brand. If you already have one, that's awesome. However, creating one for just this, if you haven't already, is step one, right? Create a YouTube channel. The next thing is I highly recommend is setting up a TikTok channel, right? Because your TikTok account is the same thing. You're going to create one video that can be repurposed and published on all of these platforms. So spend the time. It might even feel like you're not doing much. It might feel like, oh, wow, I have to do a whole bunch of work before I get the end result, right? Like this is the process of actually setting it up, because in the future, now you're just creating videos with a couple push of the buttons, because we're building the software that's going to do this. We're not just trying to achieve the end result one or two times. We're making it where the software could output this entire product, right? Here's our very first one. All right, Shanti, what you think? Oh, it kind of looks like it looks like your hair. Oh, it kind of looks like this one. You're on mute.
How does it choose the color of the hair, and how did it choose the color of the outfit? Like you didn't put obviously any of those opportunities in. Is it random, or is it based on some kind of, current societal preference or something? Oh my God. Oh yeah, because you put choice seeker in there. Yeah, I mean, you put the golden snitch. You must have put that word. Yeah.
Yep. So I literally added everything here. So here's the second one. You can see this one has a little choice. So you see what I mean? This one put choice right across the shirt. So when I say you could use this for your brand, some of these videos can literally have it use choice.com, right? Or choose your path. And it could be holding signs. And it could do call to actions that are in this. So we could start to look at this choice. And now we have a little golden snitch.
So cute. Well, what about the golden snitch? Like, what is that copyright? What is that? Is in that example, that I mean, it doesn't say.
We can remove said thing, and then we could generate more images. Now, here's the cool thing. This is creating the character. So we can remove that if you want to remove it right from the start and don't ever have that issue. Right. So that's smart. And that's like forward thinking of long term. We could remove that. And you could also choose, do you want a certain shirt? Do you want a certain hairstyle? You can realize this new model of this GPT-1, like GPT Image 1, is extremely high quality of following your prompt of what you tell it. Okay. So
Well, I guess general question though, like if theoretically things could be reminiscent of like an established character that someone could sue you for regardless. Like you could take out the golden snitch, but then someone could say such and such looks like Tinkerbell. So just as like a general question, how do you worry about that or not?
yeah, I mean, there's, eventually, you can't run from everything. You know what I mean? Like eventually it could say, does anyone have any other thoughts about that? Joey, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I work with a guy, Johnny Regan, and he has a friend who's an attorney, and he calls him, because Johnny Regan's all about helping people find their vision. And he has an attorney friend who he calls the Vision Protector. And his name's David Loda, and I could actually get you his information, and he would probably sit down with you for a consultation to talk to you about what you're looking at as far as, so that would be the next step. Somebody who files for trademarks, patents, get a free consultation with one of those patent attorneys or trademark attorneys and see what he says.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll get you the information.
That's awesome, Joey. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So I just updated this one, and I removed the golden snitch. So now we'll at least have a couple options that we could decide from there. All right. And then we could at least choose. Okay. So the next step is setting up your platforms. All right. So getting them where you're on your YouTube channel, your TikTok channel, your Facebook page, your Instagram, all of this. Okay. This is like just like setting up the basic so you can at least publish on these platforms. All right. Thank you, Joey. You freaking rock. There's that link. Heck yes. All right. Now we have a couple more options. Oh, look at this. All right. All right, Shanti. So now we have a choice fairy. You could give me some feedback on the ones you're on mute. This one, I'm digging this one. Choice challenges, choice opportunities. Just kind of spelled this one a little funky. Choice seeker. What's up? Oh, look at that. Yeah. I like this one. Okay.
It's
So do you have a vibe that you prefer?
I don't know. I think they're all cute. What does everyone else think?
I like the bottom one, and I also heard an interview that coming soon in the future on Facebook, when you see something like a wand in a video or anything, you'll be able to click on that wand and order it from your store. Like if you sold the wand, like if you sold an item that's in your video, like if the Choice shirt, if it said Choice or My AI Team on your t-shirt, that you're going to be able to click inside that video on the shirt and then like add to cart and purchase it. And that's like coming soon. So
Yeah, that's smart. And you could customize it. You could do all kind of cool things.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Troy knows what I'm talking about, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes all kinds of sense. You absolutely. Yeah, that you could begin to create. Yeah, whenever you tap on that wand and it takes you somewhere, even with this X and check mark, it could move forward or backward. I don't know. You could have some kind of standardized.
Yeah, it's getting more interactive and I
What
heard.
about a choose your adventure? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Shanti.
No, I'm sorry. I interrupted. Someone was talking. I got excited.
It is exciting.
So do you have a which one do you prefer, Shanti?
Geez. I don't know. I like aspects of both, but if we want to go with the sign one, we can go with the sign one. I was just saying, I mean, just to the interactive point, like, could it, you click on the video and you choose which, it's like the person engages in the video and it's like, bring a diversion point into the experience where it's like a choose your own adventure.
Mm. Okay, now that'd be awesome. That'd be crazy if they add that functionality soon. And now here's what's really cool is you might make a software that allows that in the future, where you build a software that allows those choices with your branded character. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a lot, you could put games in this and you could build a lot of stuff around the Choice brand. I'm loving it so far. So now here's what we're looking at. We're not necessarily at the signs. We're not looking at anything else. What we're looking at is the character. Okay, so don't think about anything else. Think about is if we have character consistency, that's ultimately when I go to this video, this character, this dinosaur is going to be in every single one of my future videos. The brand that I create. So think of it not as, do I like the words or do I like the checkbox or that? Look at, do I like this character that it just created? Do I like this character that it just created? Or do you like this character that it created? Because this is going to be our character that's in all of our videos. And at this moment, we could create a different character if you so choose. If you want it blue eyes, or if you want it different hair color, or if you want it with glasses like you have it, we can describe you.
That'd be cute.
You go choose.
I liked one of the ones from the first one, even though the golden snitch was there. But
Oh, absolutely. We could go back to those ones too. So here we go. Okay. So in here, we have what's called predictions. Okay. Predictions are ultimately just a record of all your API calls. Okay. So now we go back to the ID and then we scroll down and I could view full prediction and I could see all my history of all of these ones. I could see my prompt. I could see the quality. I could see the aspect ratio. I could also get the API key and API information to make this API call. Okay. So this site is meant to set up for the developer. Okay. So this is why it's important, because you might use a character. So do you have a preference of one of these characters that you really like?
I think the first one.
The first one? Beautiful. All right. I love it. Yay. All right. So this is our choice fairy. All right. So we're going to save this image. And now I'm going to show you what we do next. Okay. So now we just saved our image. This is our image. This is going to be our character for your brand. Okay. So now we go over here and this is step one is done. Yeah, Shantae. All right. All right. So cool. All right. So the next step is crafting engaging 30-second narratives. All right. So during this, when we actually look at this channel, all right, so here's what this channel is, okay? You see how it says lovely baby met a plane crash, poor pub rescues blank. All right, when I'm looking at this, I'm literally trying to look at what are they doing and how can I do this just so I could achieve 10%. If I could do half, 10% of what this guy just did, or on this one, that's 6.2 million views if I could do that. What would 6.2 million views do for your business or your brand or for any of those, right? And if it just links it, right? Plus the YouTube revenue, plus the brand sponsorships and the opportunities that come along with whatever happens when you build these videos, okay? Especially when you could brand them with shirts and you could partner and put Nabisco on it. You could put you could literally brand these and put stuff on it. And I'm going to show you that in a second, okay? So now we have Lovely Baby Lost. You can see a lot of these. It's the height of drama at the start of the intro, and then it tells a story. All right, so we want to create something that does something very similar. All right, so it says develop a storyline with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Ensure that each video provides value, information, or entertainment, or something that you're giving. All right, plan for 5 distinct or 6 scenes. Right? Each scene is 5 seconds long. You could update that to 10 seconds, but each scene is 5 seconds because I like to do shorter scenes sometimes just so you have a little bit more quality control. All right. And then you write detailed descriptions for each scene, including the background, the prompts, the setting. All right. All of these things. All right. Remember, as viewers are investing in the content, make it sure it's watching. Just because your video is free doesn't mean that people aren't paying for it with their time. All right. Like, just like you guys showed up here with your time, like, I value that, right? I want you guys to legit create something that you guys are like, dude, like, Jeff, look, I just had a video hit 6 million views. And I'm just like, and you're like, that was with my software I coded. Like, if that happens, it's going to blow my mind because, dude, like, you could sell that software. The video is proof that it worked. Okay. So now we go here. Now we have plan our scenes. All right. In this, here's what's different. Inside this little, let's just use Jeffy as example. Inside this, they're using this, and there's somebody with a camera, and they're saying, hey, I'm going to have you guys talk. I'm going to have you do this, and I'm going to record this. All right. And there's someone that's directing the video. Okay. Well, we don't have that. We have our words that we have to use to direct the camera. And so that is our new skill. So when you guys are describing the scene, you're not just describing the scenes that this is going to turn into. You actually need to describe what's happening in the video. Okay. So we're going to be creating like this happens here and this happens here and this happens here. Okay. And the last one is we're actually going to take those images, those prompts that we create of those images and turn it into videos. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. All right. So this is what I love about my AI team. Okay, so my AI team has it where you could fork codes. All right, so I'm going to fork this code and I'm going to say story. All right, I'm going to misspell story. All right, I'm going to say story. I'm going to try to spell story. All right, I'm going to fork this and open the tab. All right, so what this just did is this literally just created a duplicate, right? So here's the original one. If I ever update this one, it's here, but if I update this one, it's here, okay? So there's completely 2 different, if I look at my thing, this is the code here, and then this is the class. So I just duplicated the code. That's what forking means, okay? Right, so all I did was create an exact copy of this code over here. This is the code right here, and I created the code. You can hit view code at any time, and this is the code, okay? That's all I did. All right, I duplicated the code and created a new snippet. All right, so here's why did I do this? All right, because we have our choice fairy, okay? So our choice fairy is a choice seeker, all right? And we want to create a story about them, all right? So we want to say, you are a world-class story maker, all right? That makes 6 scenes, all right? Here is my character, all right? However you spell character, all right. I'm going to one day know how to spell. I'm just joking. I'm going to learn how to use AI to spell better. Character hater.
Jeff, don't feel bad. I saw Mr. Beast typing and he's worse than you.
Dude. All right. All right. I'm going to find the word character and I'm going to copy
I
and
love
paste
you though. I'm not trying to dish you. I love you though.
All right. Here's my character. All right. So, and then I'm going to copy and paste what our prompt is. All right. And as we're thinking this, Shanti, have you thought of an idea of some story that you would like to tell your audience, that you would like to use as your very first debut story, that somehow your choice fairy is dealing with some life situation that you feel you're maybe one of your patients? And I like to say, don't say the names, right? HIPAA, right? But somebody, I believe the best stories are the ones that are highly, highly personal. Somebody else is dealing with it or you're personally dealing with it. And those are the ones that relate the most. So is there something in your life that we can put into video and bring it to life with your character?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking this doesn't directly answer that, but just a quick aside. I think that the choice fairy is like the hero, all of our heroes. It's the hero that helps me become a choice seeker. So choice fairy is the hero, and then everyone who watches the video and imagines themselves in the video, or the characters in the video, are all people or animals or whatever that become choice seekers because of the like enlightenment or lessons that the choice fairy teaches them or helps them get to. And one question I had was like, where in this do you describe your audience? Because it'd be really, I mean, it'd be cute to do this for kids and to kind of like put into kid language all of the like, lessons or whatever that I teach adult patients, but to put them in really simplified terms and help kids have like aha moments about ways to better handle all the stress of being a kid or a young tween. But so one that comes to mind to answer your question is it relates to cognitive behavioral therapy, but the bottom line with that is that it's the way we think about a situation that makes us feel a certain way. It's not the situation itself. So the cool thing is you're in control of your own thinking. So the setting could be that a little girl is in her room and her sister slams the door and the little girl is sad. And then the little girl learns that if she thinks about it in a different way, and she thinks about it that maybe her sister is having a really bad day and feel, maybe wants to think of it that it doesn't have to do with her, then maybe she's not going to feel so bad. That's just like a quick one that comes to mind. But like a sibling rivalry, and the choice fairy tells her a secret, wow, this is a really cool skill. Maybe you can just imagine that she just must be having a bad day. It has nothing to do with you. And then the little girl's like, yay, I'm so happy now.
Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so here's what I just did. All right, so here's what I just did is, as you were talking, all right, I have a little software that AI coded up for me not too long ago, and it basically turns voice into text. All right, and if you have an iPhone, you could take that text, all right, and you could paste the text from your iPhone to the computer. Okay, so now I just said, there's your story. Okay, so as you were talking, I transcribed the whole thing. So literally you were telling me you want to talk to tweens, you want to talk to kids, you want to talk to adult patients, everything. I just transcribed it. And no joke, what you just did is how I talk to my AI now. Okay, I literally grab my little app and I translate my entire thing. I tell them just like you did. I say, this is who it is. This is what I thought. This is my story. This is who I'm talking to. This is what I want. Every single thing, just like you did, and I transcribe it. I say the ifs and buts, oops, and everything right to it. Because the AI is smart enough to figure all that out. Okay? So what you just did is what I just do. And then I put it in here. If you guys look at my prompt, you are a world-class story maker, 6 scenes, teaching them how to apply your tools to challenge. Here's my thing that helps become a choice seeker. So they experience the hero that everyone watches the video and imagines themselves in the video, the characters. Like this is everything that you said. Exactly. That's all I do. Okay. And then in a few seconds, it's going to create our story. Okay. If we're lucky. If AI works today. Boom! The door slam.
The door slam. Love that. That's so cute. Oh my gosh.
All right. All right. So we have our very first scene. All right. So Lily sat on the bed, tears welling in her eyes. Her sister Emma, oh, we need some images to go with this. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. All right. Look, do we have, how many scenes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have our 6 scenes. All right. And then we have some
Oh my
images
God.
floating around there.
Insane.
Okay? So we have our story based off of literally this entire training. Does that make sense? It took this code, rewrote it based off we want, and everything that we want, it's our story. The feeling lesson, everything. Okay? So here we go. We got the door slam. All right. So watch what we do. We pop back over into this replicate. All right. And we go into our replicate GPT-4.1 or whatever this is, right? GPT image 1. All right. This is our model. All right. So let's try. Hopefully we go back on this form. All right. So bam, where did this go? Do we have to enter our key in again? Yes, we do. All right, cool. All right. Let me copy my key. All right. So we have to have our key in here. Now, here's the difference. Do you see how this story, there's 2 things that we need. We need this story. This is our image. Does that make sense? This is our image because this is the story. So now we copy this and we paste it into as the prompt. Well, how do we get a character, right? We need 2x3 because that's a Facebook Reels size. That's YouTube Reels and all that stuff size. How do we actually get a character? Well, this is what I love. You see where it says input image? We get rid of this little vase option. We upload. Check out this. We upload our character. Okay. And now this character is literally it's going to take this character, take this prompt, and make us a couple images. All right. I just want to let you guys know, whenever you guys are charging this images, you see how it says number of images, how many I want. Up here, it's very misleading. It says 0.001 cent per image. When you insert your API key right here, it's also charging you 0.001 cent per image here and 25 cents an image over here. Okay. Okay. Just let you know. Right. So there's math going on here. Every time you press this, if I hit 4, I just know we just spent $1. Okay. So now I'm going to hit generate. All right. We can see what format we want. I'm going to say PNG. Okay. And I'm going to hit run. Now this is going to take our prompt and our character and make our very first scene. Okay. Of the image, just the image. All right. Well, remember, now we go back into here. We have our director's vision. The second part or the third part, step 3, is taking the image and turning it into video. All right. And I'm talking, we're not going to do the Will Smith eating spaghetti stuff. All right. We're going to actually do some better, higher quality stuff. And what I mean, okay. You guys remember how I said there's only a few people in the world that have ever done this. Okay. So do you guys see how this says Black Forest Flux Pro 1.1? All right. Do you guys see how this says 31 million runs? That means there has been 31 million images generated with just this image model. A lot of these image models, I'm talking about the ones that are most popular, the most popular models. Look at this one. Some of these, when I discovered this site, this one has 918 million runs. This is used 900, almost a billion times. Okay. Almost a billion. If we scroll up to this latest image model or video model, it's called Kling V2. This has 2,000 runs. 2,000. I'm 150. Right? There's 2,000 runs. That's probably me and 17 other people in the world are using this model right here. If you guys click on this model, you guys can see examples. Check out this model. Look at this. When I saw this little video that I created on my Facebook, all of this model is, all this image, look, I didn't even do thinking. I just took this thing that says cute hamster leisurely lies on a life buoy wearing a flashable sunglasses. I replaced the word hamster with T-Rex. That's it. And I used it for the first time, and I'm like, wow, look at that. Look at that. And it produced this. This is, look at the waves. Look at the whiskers. This is incredible. If you were putting this in Toy Story 10 years ago, they would be, you would blow up Pixar. You could generate this. Think about the time investment to generate something like this. Think about the time investment to generate something like this. This is a little funky, but this is, you guys ever seen this meme? This is taking a real photo and bringing it to life. What is this? It's not just cute little hamster things. You could actually do other things. This is a 10-second clip, and it generated this thing. 10 seconds. You could do 5 seconds, or you could do 10 seconds. Okay, let's check on our character. All right, so now we have our character, and we have her looking sad. Oh. Look at that consistency. Do you guys see our initial character? You see this? It's not the golden snitch, so we don't have to worry about that. She's adding it in. But look, this little choice fairy has this little snitch going on. It still has incorporated things. She's all sad. She has this little fairy going on. The little thing broke, right? Like, do you have one? Okay, so this is, Shanti, this is going to be our very first scene. We need to take an image and turn it into a video. Do you have a scene that you prefer to start from? This is your starter image. One of these three.
Go down again. Or
aren't we asking for 4? Oh, there's 4.
I think the last one.
Okay.
Or the first one.
The first one's really good too.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, so look. So now we have save image as. So I could save this image as. Okay. So as I'm showing you guys this, I want to let you guys know, the nerdy people that are going to turn this into a software, you can see this outputs a JSON. This outputs the code that you need to turn this into a software. Okay. So when we're using this, all of these steps are going to be part of your software. You're just, anytime you're building software, you have to, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you break down, I need something that creates my initial character. I need something that will create my script for me. I need something that will create my text image to video, right? And you break down the individual parts of your software, and then you could create the final software that will do the entire thing. Okay. So now we go back into, we need to actually turn this into a thing, right? So we click on Playground, right? So we click on Playground, and we're going to have two things. This is where you see how there's this prompt, and then we have our starter image. Okay. Inside of our prompt, this is the prompt. This is the character. This is the prompt. So our story that we just produced is going to be our camera movements, everything. Okay. And then we're going to come in here, and we're going to actually come in here into it, and we're going to put in our prompt, paste the door slam, and we're going to scroll down till we actually have this aspect ratio. Doesn't matter because it says ignored if the start image is provided. And then we're going to upload our starter image. Okay. This is how we create a consistent character quality, right? So understand, this is now our character. You could choose duration. You could say 5 seconds, or you could say 10 seconds. I like to do 5 seconds because they're, better clips, So, and now we hit run. And this is going to start. Now, here is the thing. This generation of generating this image from like generating a text to image, if you look at this, this is 28 cents per second of video. Okay. So if you're doing math, all right, so far we've generated about $2 worth of images to create our initial character. Then we had to generate each scene. So each scene has options to choose. And then we have the cost of the video of per second. So a 5-second video is $1.28. Is that right? Yep, $1.28 plus some change, right? But that's rough math, right? So 28 plus that, right? So $1.46. Okay. So whatever that number is, you're paying that per 5-second clip of video. So just in one day, spending $200-300 just to get your character correct in the first time is a common thing. When you build this as a software, understand you need to think, if you're going to turn this into a software, you got to think of how am I going to charge my customer, because I need to make profit off of 28 cents per second of video. I need to make profit off of the image generation. I need to make profit off of the story generation that tells the story. Okay, so when you build all that, you need to think of that, because I mean, you could see you could rack up the cost pretty dang fast. Or you could say, hey, I'll do this all independently and you guys charge $250 per video and you get hired to do this for somebody else. Okay, and then that turns it into a service, and then you use that. Anytime I like to learn something, I like to get paid by someone to do it for them, and they know that I'm learning and building it with them. And then all of a sudden I'll produce these videos. They don't have to worry about it. They just have to tell me what they want the videos about. And then I'll use that to learn why I get paid. All right. I love working with doctors and nurses because they have practices. All right. What that means is they usually have to practice. Right. Like if you're a heart surgeon, you have to practice. All right. And it's called your practice. You're never done learning. Okay. Well, that's the same thing with what we're doing. If you're going to do this, practice and get paid for it. Right? Doctors practice and get paid. They're professionals, right? That's what separates amateurs and professionals. A professional gets paid for what they do, right? Just decide you're going to get paid and not do it for free. Otherwise, it's going to cost you a whole bunch of money, okay? So this takes about 5 to 10 minutes. That's why you're paying so much per second of video. What you're actually paying on Replicate is you're not paying, some of these you're paying where they're actually like, they're official. You see how it says official? That means somehow, however they got official, you're actually paying Kling, somehow the company. However, Replicate makes their money off of the computer time that's running in the background. So that's what's actually happening. Right now, we are using a computer and it's booting up in the background and it's running the code that actually creates these text to like image to video. And we're renting the time that it's running the computer time. Okay. So that's what all of these models are, is it's called open source models, and it's deployed on here. What's really cool is if you ever build software on my AI team or anything, my AI team, if I go into push model, you guys can actually build and push your own models. This is like long-term nerdy stuff, but you guys can build and push your own models. You could push your own image models where it's trained on your face. And now you could have images trained off of your face, or you could actually, however, here's the cool thing. You don't have to train images off your face. You could literally use this open AI model right here, upload an image of you, and then it outputs images like this. Okay. So you could be the character. And if you have a YouTube channel, you could upload an image of this. You could set a different aspect ratio, like 3.2, and then you could say, make me a YouTube video. Right. So you could literally say right here, make me a YouTube thumbnail, you know, let's just say Lily slams the door, right? Or the door slam, right? Boom. All right. The door slam, all right, as my viral YouTube thumbnail, right? So you can create it where you're creating thumbnail makers from this, right? Also, so think about different parts of your creation. Okay. So look, now we have our first little video clip. What do you think? All right, so this is our first 5-second little video clip. What up, Renee? Glad you showed up, man.
I was just saying, good work, Jeff, as always.
All right, so now we have a character. This is our first 5-second video clip and scene of the entire clip. So think of this as the first scene of 6. Okay, so now if we were actually to go through, now we have the door slam. All right, and now we could copy this second scene. And the same thing that we did with this very first scene, okay, is, oh, look, this is the door slam. Look at this. Look at that freaking YouTube thumbnail. Like, what's up? Like, that is awesome. I'm going to download both. Okay, so if we go back to this aspect ratio, this is step 2, right? So this is image 2 of the scene 2. And if I hit run, this is going to generate. Now, here's the thing. This is going to generate each scene. Well, you can see where this gets to the point where you're like, oh man, I have to generate this scene. I have to generate this scene. I have to generate this scene, right? So now we actually need to make it where we could just generate the whole entire scene all at once. Okay, so now this is scene 2. This is scene 3. If we were to ever create a software, okay, we would want a software that does this thing. Okay, so we would actually want it where it's actually going to be our entire process. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna make it where I could set up all of my scenes, and it's actually going to just generate the entire 6-scene process that we want. Okay, and then we're just gonna make videos out of all of them at once. So this is gonna be our initial input image. We could generate here, and we could just do 2 for each one of these. And I'm going to open this in a couple different tabs. Bam. So that's 1. That's 2. Keep that one open. Now, if we were to build a software around this, this is what the software would do. Okay. So inside my AI team, okay, here's what I did. All right. I actually have a story maker. And I actually have a, let's see, video contract, video maker. All right. All right. I actually added this to my website. You guys can see over here, this is what the software looks like when you actually deploy it. All right. And I'm actually creating these scenes where it actually inputs the last image. And then it makes it where we could actually create this whole entire thing in a scene generation. All right. So I come in here and I could create a new video. I could choose the scene. I could upload a start image. All right. So we could say we could upload said starting image, and we could have this as the starting image. And then from here, this could actually go into our story right here. Let's go into our story. The door slam. And I do want to say, when I generate this from this video part right here, right? So this, you could see this adds it where we could have a scene, and then it will save the scene. And this literally takes the prompt of the initial image and then puts it in here. All right. And then this next part, this is all what I coded up with this. Okay. Over here, this is the AI storyboard generator. You can see if I go to my history, I literally did exactly what I said. I walked around in my garage. I said, make a tool, and I talked about it, and I gave it everything that I learned from this training, which is what I did before this class. And then I literally just told it, and then I gave it all my API endpoints. Okay. And then it spit out this software that could create characters, generate story, and then I could view the storyboard with my images. All right. And then from there, I could add them into this. So as you guys see, I'm actually building the same thing where I want to make this faster for me, right? The same little process. And all I did was code up a software that does this. And then this is kind of like what I'm showing you guys now, just more of the behind the scenes of I'm trying. Oh, look, this is cool. Look at this. What? I didn't even see this. This is the choice crossroads. This gives us the choose your crossroad. This gives us stay sad or try a new perspective. And we can literally choose which one we want. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's what's up. I get a stayed sad.
That's cool.
What? All right. So that's That's awesome. So you could make it where you could tie this into games, right? Like,
Mhm.
you could definitely do some really cool stuff with this. So I would love to. The Brave choice. Yeah. All right. So we can see here, once this is done, this takes about 30 minutes because I have it where it's like it takes the first video and then it takes the last video and then it inputs it, right? So I'll hit generation and then it will literally generate this. Hopefully it makes a video. This is like my version 1 of me working and building on the software. If you see this calls into our predictions. If I go in here, you can see it calls the backend, and you see now how it says source. It says source right here, and it says API. When we're doing the other ones, we're doing it on the web. This one actually created an API call, and it's calling this, and this is going to be what it actually inputs. Okay, so you can see this is our input. Our image, not sorted yet, not added yet, but it will appear. And then in a few minutes, it will actually appear here. So we're actually calling this through an API. All right. So now you can see how we could build software around the entire process of what I just said. And this is what it could look like when you're done. Okay. And all this was built inside my AI team. You can see this is the starting process. The only difference is I added it to my own server and then all right, so this is what scene 2 adds, or so this is scene 1, and then let's see if scene 2 is done. All right. All right. What's up, baby? I'm on a call right now. I'm the coaching.
I didn't know you were on a call. Okay.
No worries. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
My beautiful wife calling. All right. All right. So we can see, hopefully we'll see this one in a few seconds where we actually have scene 2. All right. So this is scene 1. Prediction. Scene 2 is here. Let's check. All right, this is sad. And then we go here to scene for our image, the door slam. Oh, perfect. All right, we need a 3D, a upright image of that one. Okay. So we go into GPT, choice fairy, choice wand. And here. Okay, so look, so this is scene 2. Okay, so this is the choice fairy of the actual, like, hi, I'm Lily, the choice fairy. All right, so this is our second part. So we could choose what happens after this. You can see that this is the little choice fairy coming down and talking, Claire, the choice fairy. Oh, it gave her a name. Okay. What do you think? Do you like this second image or do you want to use a different one?
It's cute.
All right, well, it kind of
Look
looks.
at her skirt. I can't even see what that is.
Yeah.
Cute.
It's like the little snitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. They're so
So cute. All right. Well, it named it Claire the Choice Fairy. All right. Look, it has the snitches in her hair too. That's so cute. Okay, so you can see how this actually creates the scene 2. Okay, so if we actually go here, the process of using this one, now if we were to use this model, we would take the same thing, upload our starter image, and use the second scene. Okay, the second scene of this plus the actual prompt that created that image. Okay, so this is going to be the actual prompt that created that image, and we will go to here. This is our prompt. Paste this. All right, and then we have our starter image. Perfect there. Duration. At any time you could extend the duration, right? Just know that you're paying 28 cents per second of video, right? So 10 seconds is $2.80. All right, so $1.40 is for 5 seconds. Okay, I could do math now. Okay, so you could also see over here in this software, what I did is my idea is over time, you're going to be creating a lot of like characters. So you can start to see that I wanted to start using this character. So I wanted to be able to start merging them and using it so I could just create characters. And maybe because there's such a high cost with generating these images and generating these videos. My thought is, if you create a software that you could have a gallery, you could select a couple of these and merge selected video, and then it creates your videos that way. Okay, so I was thinking, how can I save the costs, right? And sometimes I just generate clips that I'm going to use in multiple different areas, and then I'm building my channel off of that without having such a huge cost. Maybe in the future, in like a month, well, I don't have to make a brand new video. I could just use some of my other videos, such as these little guys in a pool, and I could tell a pool story. You know what I mean? And then that whole entire thing is a pool, you know, all about little swimming pool, you know, and babies go swimming or whatever they go. All right. So that's kind of the idea of long term. Okay. All right. So any questions up to this point? Do you guys feel like, based off of what we have, you could ultimately achieve what we are teaching in this class, right? So this is the final production. All right. In the final production, most of these times I take these little clips and I send them to myself on Facebook, right? So I'll go onto Facebook and I'll like message myself, right? And I'll actually just message myself, and I will literally just upload the actual like image clip. All right. And now I'll have the image clip uploaded here, and you can see this one's a cute little like dinosaur, you know, character that has a baby fall out of the sky. All right. The reason why I have the baby fall out of the sky is because I'm studying other people's videos that are kicking butt. And well, they have a baby that falls out of the sky. So I'm going to try creating a storyline based off of that. Right. And see if I could achieve even close to what they achieve. Right. I just want to keep getting a little bit better at my stories. All right. So this is step 1, generating video 2. And you can see this one still has the same character as this one right here. Right. This one right here kind of looks like the girl is the fairy. Right. So you could decide however we build it. Okay. So let's see how it goes. And that's where kind of the choice comes in, and you could decide, you know, as you're building what happens. Okay. So this one I just deployed. This one just added this little story where the door slams and Lily sits on the bed. Here's what's different about the software that I'm building with this is I wanted it to be able to make one continuous story with one character. So what I do with this little software is I'm actually taking the last frame of the video and I'm inserting it into the next starting point. Okay. So does that make sense? So literally, like at the very last frame, I told the AI code it up where it grabs the last frame and inserts it in to create the next page of this. So then I don't have to go in and create independent images, essentially. Like right now we went over here and we created the second scene, right? We created the second scene. However, I think sometimes when you create the second scene like this with an AI image model, and then you do you do image to video, I believe sometimes it creates a higher quality story, because then it kind of creates a scene where you could merge the two scenes together. Okay. So that's kind of what I've been doing, or I bring it into Canva, which is what we'll show you guys how to do. All right. So inside Canva, I create a new, basically like a new design. All right. And then the design is going to be, your story. And then from here, I'm actually going to merge all of my final products. All right. If some of you guys have been paying attention since we were, oh, look at this one. Look at that video. Come on. Yes. That is freaking awesome. All right. Like how freaking cool. All right. So now we download. So now we have our part 2. Okay. And if we go to upload right here, uploads, we can upload our video. I can upload files. Boom. We upload our first scene, and then we upload our second scene. Okay. Boom, boom. All right. Exit on that until it makes a little video thing. Bam. All right. So this adds it where we actually have on Canva, we actually can build our story. Okay. So you can see there's a little editor down here, all that. And all I do is just format this for this little video size, all right? And now we have our little like Canva, and then essentially we can do the same thing, right? So this is our little clips. So you can use Canva or you can use any other ones. Is this a story or a video? Create design. I actually need a video, mobile video. There it is, bam. All right, make sure it's mobile video. If you're using Canva. Here's what I'm doing. When this little code that I'm working on right here, you can see it pops into this. Oh, look, you might like this video better than our first video. All right, so this is the video being made with my software that takes this and creates it, okay? So we might like this Choice Fairy video better than the one that we're building with this other one, okay? But we could go into elements uploads, and we could add our videos, first video and second video, boom, all right? Reorder these. So one clip's in front of the other one. There you go. All right. So now we're here. Drag it. All right, cool. So we have here that we're adding the video, and then you can see if you guys were in the classes with the music, you could also go to Suno.com. All right, Suno.com, here's what's really cool, is you could also use, instead of having voiceovers, you can take our AI music class that we did, where you're actually creating music with AI, and you could publish those songs to DistroKid, and you could use the music as the voiceover that tells the story. Okay, does that make sense? So you can use that to create an entire song based off of what that is. All right, so now we could even go into our video generator, into this, and I could fork this thing, right? And I could say song, fork, right? And I could say over here, this is just all the stuff that we're doing to make our one little thing. And I could say over, as soon as it loads, all right, I could say, make me a 30-second song from this. All right. All right, and then it's going to give us song. All right, I might have to say, give me the lyrics and also music styles. All right. So now this will update and it will create that. Okay, so now we have a song coming up. All right. And here's what's cool is if I was to watch this, there's no music to it, but if I was to watch this, we actually have a little story coming on. All right. And you can see it starts to make a full little video. All right. She pops in, little fairy comes in. Aww. Claire the Choice Fairy. All right. So it kind of skips over, this is why I do like the software that I'm working on. It depends on what you're building. Is this software you can see takes this starter image, is pulling it in, and then the fairy is magically appearing based off of that last image off of that. So it kind of creates that continuation of what we're creating. All right. So really depends on how you build a software. Like I said, all of this right here, what you guys see right here is just calling the API in the back. That's all I did was build a front end dashboard to do everything that I'm trying to do digitally. All right. And if we go into our predictions, you can see that the AI or the API is running in the background. So you can see right here the API. All right. So we probably actually have our second little video done, right? So, or a third video. Boom, look at that. That's what's up. So this one popped in. It's like first she's doing this, then she comes in, she has this little wand, and then it pops in this whole little thing. Like, and then like magic fairies, and dude, this might be a better video. You know what I mean? So you can see it could be where you insert in. Oh, you guys aren't seeing my screen. Oh, that's so anticlimactic.
I was going to say, we don't see what you're seeing. That's so great.
All right. So here we go. All right. Look at all you guys showing up. I just want to say thank you guys for freaking showing up on this call. Are you guys learning some stuff? Has this been helpful so far? Has this been like, has anybody learned anything from this so far? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I want to share something I made with you too, Jeff.
Yeah. Let's hit it.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. I wanted to try the video maker that I used to see what it compared to what you're using.
Yes.
And you might be able to, you should be able to watch that link I put in the chat, and you can see how we lost so much consistency compared to what you're doing. You're keeping the consistency with the character. Like you can see on this, oh, it won't let you view it. Dang it.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
And yeah, thank you. So Joey's using probably the next model outside of what we're doing. Okay.
I think this is, can you see that?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Why did my sister do that? That was mean.
Hey, Lila. I felt your heart get heavy. Want to try something powerful?
Like magic.
Even better. It's called a thought choice. Sometimes the way we think about something can change how we feel about it. Let's try a different thought. What if your sister is having a really bad day?
Oh, maybe she didn't mean it.
Exactly. You're becoming a choice seeker, someone who looks for better thoughts.
Oh my gosh.
Hey sis, you're slam scared Lila, but I know today's been tough for you.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be mean. I was just frustrated. Sorry for slamming the door. I had a rough day.
It's okay. I understand now.
Every time you choose a better thought, you grow stronger, just like a hero. Want to try it too?
Oh my gosh.
That's actually really impressive, man. Like,
I can't believe that along the side. That's insane.
yeah, well done. I actually, dude, that added voice and video, like, dude, that was in sound, like, that was pretty legit.
I paid $10 just to try that to see what it would do. That cost that. I mean, I'm just saying that's that you're paying. You probably spent about the exact same amount of money, but I mean, and I was like, come on, generate before he's done talking. It literally took it about 10 to 50, like 10 to 15 minutes to make that. And that's all generative AI, but Jeff's teaching us how to build a software that we can sell to other people, right?
And now here's the thing is you could use that as a, imagine what they did. They somehow took that video, they generated those videos, and then they somehow took the audio and made audio too. So now if you wanted to add audio to yours, just always segment how do you eat an elephant, right? So you just now say, okay, I want to be able to take that and input in a story. Okay, and now you input in a story. For us on this call, like you could input it in where it outputs the whole story like that, where it inputs the scripts. And you could use something like OpenAI for voice or any of those. Or just like we're doing this like in the music class, right? This outputs a little like, did it give us a song? Let's see. Choice Fairy, did it give us a song? Where's the Brave New Choice? Or I don't know if okay, boom. All right, so now we have a little song right here, okay? So this outputted the little song. Well, we could actually take this and insert the song as our material, okay? If we wanted, okay? So we could insert this in, it inserts in our song. You can see I was generating some other ones. You could say your style. We could definitely turn this kids beat fun. All right, let's see what that does. All right, and this is Suno, okay? Suno is really cool because, I mean, you own, oh look, dude, I think they might have just dropped 4.5 in the last 24 hours. All right, that's awesome. Okay, that's really cool. All right, so if I share just this screen, we can see if we could add some songs. Now, here's why would you want to add songs to your, why would you ever want to add songs, okay, to this versus a script? Not that a script, I think a script is awesome and it will tell a story too, but here's what's really cool. If you add a song to this, let's just say one of these things hypothetically do go viral. Well, that means so does your song. All right, so on this, if I go to DistroKid, right? Well, DistroKid is where you actually publish this, right? You can see DistroKid, you actually get paid from your music being on DistroKid. All right, and I just uploaded one of these for my mom and I are working on one, but literally, no joke, you could get paid just like Taylor Swift, right, from DistroKid. And you can see like DistroKid pays you out for the song plays. So let's just say you put out a song and it's super catchy and somebody digs it. Well, not only does your video go viral, but also your song goes viral and people start catching on with that song. And they could use it in their reels and their clips, and it's on TikTok and it's on Facebook and it's all of that. Okay. So sometimes I'm thinking about how can I also make this a long-term asset for me on top of other ways. And this could be telling a story through this. All right. So let's see what our little, like our song created. All right. So this created a minute. If you guys didn't know, on Spotify and on anytime you launch a song on Spotify, there's something called speedrunners in video games. All right. I love speedrunners in video games because the objective isn't to beat the game. The objective is to beat the game as fast as humanly possible. All right. Well, the same thing with Spotify. Spotify, what's the minimum song time on Spotify? All right. If you guys didn't know, share this minimum song, right? Song time on Spotify. Okay. The minimum song time on Spotify is at least 30 seconds to get paid. However, your average song needs to be a minute long. Okay. Or even a minute 30. Okay. So when you're trying to speed run and create these things and make high quality, like what's something that could be used on TikTok and all that thing, right? Try to keep your song from a minute to a minute 30. All right. It doesn't have to be Taylor Swift's long songs that you're creating. You can, and Suno will create those, but we want to just kind of like see what this. All right. So this is actually our song of what this actually was, and we can listen to it. All right. So I could hit play. Sounds like a carnival. All right.
We can't hear it.
All right. How do I view tab in Google Meet? Boom. All right. View tab Suno. All right. So let's see. Let's share song. All right. Stop presenting. And let's try to share my song. All right. Stop presenting. Suno AI music share. Boom. All right. So let's see. So we have this one right here. We could see if we like it. All right. A little carnival style. All right.
When the door slams and tears start to fall, remember you have the power after all. It's not what happens, but how you see. The choice is yours, you hold the key. I am a choice seeker, finding my way, changing my thoughts, transforming my day. Golden light shining, showing me how. The power of choice is mine right now.
Banger, baby.
Perspective like magic appears, turning my sadness into something dear. Connecting with others, healing the pain. The choice seeker's journey is never in vain. I am a choice seeker, finding my way, changing my thoughts, transforming my day. Golden light shining, showing me how. The power of choice is mine right now. finding my way, changing my thoughts, transforming my day. Golden light shining, showing me how the power of choice is mine right now. I am a choice seeker, finding my way, changing my thoughts, transforming my day. Golden light shining, showing me how the power of choice is mine right now.
That is something.
Banger. All right. So now we have a song. Okay, now we have a song that can match our brand, that tells the message, and we can download this, and we own, as long as you have a Suno like thing, right? We own the full copyright for that. All right, like we own that video, like we own that music. We could publish it right next to like Taylor Swift, right? We could literally listen that to on Spotify. We could listen to that on, we could have other people create reels to that video on TikTok that promote that song for us. People could make TikTok dances to that song and you could publish it. Your character can dance to that music and you could promote your song. Okay, so think about when you publish it to DistroKid, okay? DistroKid, look at this. If I go down where it says breakdown, see excruciating details, all right, share this tab instead, right? This is inside my DistroKid. All right, DistroKid also allows you to upload music and videos. If you ever see this video is made by Vimeo, that's where this is, the official video, that's where you upload it to here. And then it's published on all those platforms. Okay, the only thing is you can't use the reels, you have to use the little flat side. You have to use the big side, right? Okay, however, you could upload them. Now, but if you look, see excruciating detail, if you guys look at this entire thing, this is the excruciating detail of me getting paid on, I have 5 different artists on Spotify. Okay, I have 5 different bands, if you guys didn't know, on Spotify. I have 108 songs. Okay, 108 songs that I've all made with AI. I don't know how to sing and I don't know how to play an instrument. Okay, and all of them are on. They get played based off of, this one's from YouTube, this one's from Spotify, this one's from Apple Music, this is somebody from Dr. Botflow. This is a song right here, this Instagram and this one, this is 0.00002 cents, and I get 50% because someone gave me half of the money on that song. I own half of that song. You could split these songs and get paid 50-50 on songs and creations and all this. Okay, so you can get paid multiple different ways with songs. And this handles the distribution and handles the pay, so you get paid on this. All right, it handles all of that. Okay, so you can tell your stories through music, and then that music actually gets promoted. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing on this, and we'll see what our song looks like in a few seconds. Okay, or I mean our full video. So now we actually can save. Look at this. All right, so we have here, share our entire screen now, and let's see what our final production looks like over here. All right. So look, all our choice varies. Look at this. Look at it. All right. All right. Like this just made a whole freaking movie. I don't know if it's actually merging the videos. I've been working on that API endpoint to see if it actually connects. So that would be super exciting if it does, but I believe. All right. So look, you see how we have the usage? If I just refresh it, you can see that we just used on the call like $10. All right. Oh my God. Did the video actually merge? Oh my. Okay. That API endpoint wasn't working earlier. All right. So I am so excited if this freaking worked. All right, so we scroll down, final video is 30 seconds long. This software worked. All right, I'm gonna hit download video. All right, I'm gonna hit download video, okay? And then I can upload it to Canva, all right? And I can upload it to Canva. And if I replay, so we could see what this video looks like for the very first time, I can upload our files. All right, and we shall see what our video looks like. Boom. No way this freaking worked. All right. That was so cool. All right. We can also upload audio, upload our files, and we're going to upload the When the Door Slams. That's our song. Okay. So we could delete this one, upload video. Boom. 30 seconds long. Make sure it fits our video screen. Do you guys see this is a full AI freaking movie in 30 seconds created? Like, you know what I mean? All from a software that I created with API endpoints. Like, this thing is wild, right? Like, hey, but don't give it away. All right. We got some cool stuff happening. All right, here we go. All right. So let me go back, format this thing. All right. So this is our video, and then we have our song, and this is our song. Okay. So our song is definitely longer than our video, so we can always say when we actually produce it. And there's this thing called Beat Sync. I don't know if that actually works. That would be cool. Does that really work? What does that do? Sync now. All right. Nice. All right. So I'm gonna stop sharing this, and I'm gonna share that Canva, and we are gonna see what our final production is. How exciting! Are you guys ready for this? You guys ready to see what the song plus the video is? All right.
Yes.
So here's the test. Let me know based off of the output if Shanti, you would publish it as a my first video type thing. Okay. This is just the software. And remember, this is like the Kaizen, right? I believe in Kaizen, 1% better on the next time. Okay. So we can always make this better. We can always make the quality, the story, whatever better, but this is this is the start, right? What do we have? What do we have here first? All right. So share. And here. How adorable. Hopefully this thing will load, and it will be nice.
When the door slams and tears start to fall, remember you have the power after all. It's not what happens, but how you see. The choice is yours, you hold the key. I am a choice seeker, finding my way, changing my thoughts, transforming my day. Golden light shining, showing me how the power of choice is.
That's what's up.
What do you think? Were you able to hear it? Yeah.
I'm gonna hang up Lauren to create choice kids. Learn and
Yeah. How fun. Choice Kids is gonna freaking be awesome. Well, I can't wait. Okay. Well, you guys rock. Thank you guys for being on this call. Hopefully you guys learned something through this.
thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys feel we taught to the standard of the class? Do you guys feel like by the end of this, you guys can connect it based off of the other trainings of using AI software, API endpoints, creating your own character? Do you feel like anybody in here going to be like, I'm going to take action and actually do this? And this wasn't just Jeff looking cute on the camera. Is there anyone that's going to take action from this?
I'm already creating one app a day.
That's
So I will do that. Just send me the recording, please, as soon as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. Absolutely. All right, Naeem, that's rocks. All right, anybody else going to take action and you want to share in the class maybe in the future? All right, Shanti, yes. All right, cool. All right, because in the future, I want to share one of what you guys created as like, hey, this is proof what he made. If you do build a software, I will help you promote what you created and let people build it. Or if you have a service that you're going to offer for other people that you could do this and create beautiful stories, I will help promote that. All right. However, you got to create something, show it, and say like, look at how beautiful that is. And then we could offer that as a service. Okay. Publish it, get it promoted, get it on YouTube, and get it out there. Make 5, 10 videos, fail as fast as you can. Okay. So thank you guys so much for joining this class. Shanti, you got something before we jump on?
I'm sorry, I was talking and I was just gonna say parents should subscribe, since parents have the money, kids don't. They could subscribe and they could put in their questions, and then I could make story solutions for my brain and the money of them, and then it would pop out where it applies to.
That is awesome. I love that idea. Interacting. Here's the thing is, I fully believe the story, the way you connect with your audience is by talking to them. It's all about the people in the end, right? They're the ones that are watching the videos. They're the ones that are going to be spending the time to watch your stuff. So you're right. Connect with them, talk to them. You know, I think what you've like, even where you're at with this, the Choice Kids, like, girl, I love your brain. So you guys rock. Thank you guys so much for joining this call. Hope you guys dig it.
Thank you.
And can't wait to see what you guys create. Love you guys.
Nice to see you guys. Bye.
Bye.